Hey guys, what's up? Abomination9 here, back playing some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. We left off, we were opening up some Valkyrie's Rage again, but today is actually the same day that I did the last video, because apparently a new set came out. It always comes out like in the middle of nowhere. It is 11:47 today, which is the 30th. I was not expecting this to come out. It just came out of nowhere, but they're always like that. 'Cause you expect them earlier in the day or like at 12 a.m. in the morning or something like that, but no, it's just, oh, at nighttime, here's a new set, Visions of Ice. Okay, it's a mini, so there's not too much here. We have 900 gems and White Knight Dragon and the Tricky are the ultra rares here, so I don't know if there's going to be anything in here that I want. Just glancing over here, I don't see anything special, nothing familiar pops out, but I'm not even going to deal with that. Should I open these? We'll do the first 500 as a 10 pack, and then we'll go to singles after that. Oh, triples right off the bat. Oh, hieroglyphic explosion into psychedelic into bandit. Is this Knight Ice Dragon or it's definitely effect monster, so it's either one of these two or one of these three. It can only be this group of monsters here. I don't know what the tricky does. Oh, I actually saw the tricky pulled up on the left side. The tricky does. You can special summon him from your hand by discarding a card. Wow, that's actually pretty good. He's a spellcaster. Alright, so before we get to that, let's start off here. So Musto, Oracle of Gusto. This is a really good, it's an above average psychic. Once per turn, you can target one Gusto monster in your graveyard and one face-up monster on the field. Shuffle the first target into the deck, and if you do, negate the second target's effect until the end phase. Okay. There's going to be a bunch of Gusto stuff in here, because I saw that when I logged on, that there's Gusto cards. Spellbook of Eternity. Target one of your banished spellbook spell cards, except Spellbook of Eternity. Add that target to your hand. You can only activate a Spellbook of Eternity, only activate one Spellbook of Eternity per turn. And the Night Dragon, White Knight Dragon, because it's the coolest out of the two. Oh, he has Blue Eyes' attack and defense, 3,000, 2,500. During either player's turn, when a spell/trap card that targets this card is activated, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. When another face-up monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can send one spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, change the attack target to this card. Okay, so he can't be targeted by spell or traps. They get destroyed. And you can force your opponent to attack you if you have traps out. It's pretty good. Like, I honestly kind of wish I could reset the box already, but not yet. We went full in. Contact with Gusto. Target two Gusto monsters in your graveyard and one card your opponent controls. Shuffle both targets in your graveyard into the deck, then destroy the opponent's target? Excuse me, what? So, if you have two Gustos in your graveyard, put them back into your deck, and then destroy something on the field. What the heck? Will of Prophecy. This is a 2-cost 27/17. When this card is special summoned by the effect of a spellcaster type monster, you can target any number of your banished spellbook spell cards, shuffle them into your deck, and if you do, return your other banished spellbook spell cards to your graveyard. You can only use this effect of Wheel of Prophecy once per turn. And Justice of Prophecy is it's a 3-drop, it's a 3-star, but I guess it's above average for 3-star, but it's below average overall for a no cost. During your end turn, well, not below average, it's average. During your end phase, if you have activated a spellbook spell card previously this turn, you can banish this card from your field, add both one level 5 or higher light or dark spellcaster type monsters and one spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Justice of Prophecy once per turn. Jesus, these cards, like, they use the word spell too much. Okay, single. Fool of Prophecy. average. Once per turn, you can send one spellbook spell card from your deck to the graveyard. During the end phase of your turn, this card activated this effect. You contribute this card, special summon one level 5 or higher dark spell type monster from your deck. You must have 5 or more spellbook spell cards with different names in your graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. Strength of Prophecy. Once per turn, you can shuffle one spellbook spell card from your graveyard into the deck to target one face-up spellcaster type monster on the field. Increase its level by 1 and its attack by 500, which that appears to be permanent. And Reaper of Prophecy is a 1-cost 2016. When this card is normal or special summon, you can activate the effects. This effect applies as many effects as possible based on the number of spellbook spell cards with different names in your graveyard. You can only use the effect of Reaper of Prophecy once per turn. Was it 3 or more? This card gains 600. 4 or more, add one spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. 5 or more, special summon one level 5 or higher dark spellcaster type monster from your deck. There's a lot of like ridiculous synergy with these prophecy cards. Now the Fool of Prophecy, I guess the other one was Hollow. Gusto Condor, below average severely, but when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can spell summon one wind psychic type monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck. That could be anything. That literally could be anything. Also, what is this right here? I want one of these. I want to know what that is. That's probably like a really strong Earth, I think. Earth card. Gusto Griffin. This is a subpar 8/3. If this card is sent from the field to your graveyard, you can special summon a 1 Gusto monster from your deck. You can only use the effect of Gusto Griffin once per turn. Sent from your hand to the graveyard. Isn't there stuff in the Gusto line that lets you discard? Actually, no. The Tricky can toss Gusto to the graveyard from the hand, and then that lets you summon another Gusto. And that's any Gusto. Single Kareeb. We're not really getting anything crazy here. It's number 5. Spellbook of the Master. If you control a spellcaster type monster, you can reveal one other spellbook card in your hand, then target one spellbook normal spell card in your graveyard, except Spellbook of the Master. This card's effect becomes a target's effect. You can only activate one Spellbook of the Master per turn. Cam, Serenity of Gusto. Once per turn, you can shuffle 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into the main deck, draw 1 card. And this card was on the little thing that they were showing off. They're showing you like the cards that are inside the sets. Reese, Whirlwind of Gusto. Once per turn, actually, I was about to say this is a 1900, but no, it's a 1-cost 1900. Once per turn, you can return 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to target 1 monster your opponent controls and 1 face-up Gusto monster you control. Switch control of both monsters. Okay. Interesting. Spellbook of Eternity, Contact with Gusto, and Soldier Dragons. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower dragon type monster from your deck. Is Kidmodo Dragon a level 2? If so, you could grab Kidmodo, I think. Chain Dispel. When a spell or trap card is activated, destroy all cards in your controller's deck with the same name. Are you joking? That would be fantastic for Mirror Wall. What else? Enemy Controller, and the other one. Super Rush Headlong. I never know how to say its name, so let's just go with that. Because that's all everyone uses online. Cam, Serenity of Gusto again, and Gusto Thunbolt. The no drop, it's subpar. At the end of your battle phase, at the end of the battle phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was destroyed by battle and sent to graveyard this turn, you can banish 1 Gusto monster from your graveyard, special summon 1 Wind Psychic type monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck. Again, could be anything. There could be a really strong Wind Psychic with that. Fool of Prophecy, Contact with Gusto again, but this one's Hollow, and Soldier Dragons. Pack number 9. Hieroglyphics on this one, but it's probably just like a special rare. Master of Flaming Dragon Swords. This is a Above average warrior. No cost. When a monster is normal summoned to your side of the field, except Master of Flaming Dragon Swords, you can increase that monster's level by 1, and this card gains 300 attack until the end phase. Okay, interesting. Windar, Sage of Gusto, is a 1 cost 2010. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can target one level 3 or lower Gusto monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in face-up defensive position. And Spellbook of Fate. If you control a spellcaster type monster, you can banish up to 3 spellbook spell cards from your graveyard. Apply this effect depending on the number of spell cards banished from this card's activation. You can only activate 1 Spellbook of Fate per turn. 1. Return one set spell or trap card on the field to the hand. Change 1 monster on the field to face down defensive position or face up attack position. Banish 1 card your opponent controls. And last pack. So all we got was the freaking poster boy, and that's it. Spellbook Library of the Heliosphere. If you have 5 or more spellbook spell cards in your graveyard, excavate the top 2 cards of your deck. Add any excavated spellbook spell cards to your hand. Also shuffle the other cards into the deck. You can only activate 1 spellbook library of the Heliosphere per turn. You cannot activate any spell cards the turn you activate this card except spellbook spell cards. Windar, Sage of Gusto, and Spellbook of Fates. So that's it. All we got that was important there was White Knight Dragon. Unfortunately. That's it. Man, at least we got it, but we don't have a second card to put on the thumbnail, but we are of course resetting this because seemingly the only thing of value that we've gotten so far is the White Knight Dragon. So now it's whether or not I just open up straight 800 again, or if we just open them one at a time. And then we're going back to the one at a time process. I think that's fine. Single Creep. Give me one of these. Gusto Condor. Cold Enchanter. You can discard 1 card to target 1 face-up monster on the field. Place an ice counter on the target. This card gains 300 attack for each ice counter on the field. Okay, so this is part of the ice counter cards, which we haven't seen in a while. I think they were several boxes ago when the ice counters showed up and then didn't return, I guess, until now. Justice of Prophecy again. I'll take another ice counter card art, and that was pretty nice. And I would like to have an ice counter deck, though I would have to go back to the original ice counter box, whatever that is, to actually get the full set. Full of Prophecy, Spellbook Library of the Heliosphere, and Charioteer of Prophecy. This is a above average, no cost. Once per turn, you can discard 1 spellbook spell card to target 1 spellcaster type monster in your graveyard. Add the target to your hand. Okay. I want to know what this is. I guess I could just click on it now. Oh, triples. Can you give me a super? Oh, it's psychedelic and Bandit Bam. It's a spell, so that means it's this thing, or this, or this, or this. I assume. Spellbook of Fraternity, Tricky Spell 4. Send 1 face up, the Tricky, you control to the graveyard. Special summon Tricky tokens, 12,000, 1,200. In defense position equal to the number of monsters your opponent controls. Tricky tokens cannot declare an attack. Okay, interesting. Is there any other tricky spells? Like we got Mage Power, which is this one. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and defense for each spell trap card you control. Okay. Does it also apply to itself? Because it itself is a spell/trap card. And so that would imply that they would gain 500 attack and defense. And also does that mean field spells as well? Because field spells are spells. So if you're running a Yami Yugi deck that automatically has Yami on the field, plus this, you're giving something a 1,000 attack right off the bat. So I think this heavily favors Yami Yugi. And yes, I would like another Mage Power, please. So I'll reset that. Oh, triples again. Psychedelic, come on. Nah, no glint, so it's not special. Or it could be special, who knows. Full of Prophecy, Spellbook of the Master, and Spellbook of Fate. Yeah. Nothing great there. Single. Just give me one of these. Muso, Oracle, Gusto, Tricky Spell 4, and Charioteer of Prophecy. I feel like literally the only card I haven't gotten is this. Windar, Sage of Gusto, Spellbook of Eternity, and Reaper of Prophecy. We're running out. We only got one more pack after this. Oh, triples. Come on, big money. No whammies. This is a whammy. Dang it. Full Prophecy, Gusto Condor, Spellbook of Power. Target one spellcaster type monster you control until the end phase it gains 1,000 attack. Also, until the end phase, each time it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add one spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only activate one spellbook of power per turn. Alright, that was pretty good. And last but not least, just give me whatever this is. Gemini Elf, if I'm reading that correctly. Triples. Come on. Yeah, high. We got the psychedelic. Come on. And Bandit Face is probably super rare, not an ultra. And okay, it's one of these. So it's one of these three. Give me Tricky just so I can have White Knight Dragon and Tricky on the thumbnail together. Please. Or I'll take one of these ice people because I think these three cards are all ice counters probably. But we did get a cold encounter here. Windar, Sage of Gusto. Drumroll, please. I'm not actually going to add a drumroll here. We're just going to wait for like 5 more seconds. Keep the suspense up. Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Okay, so this isn't an ice counter card. It's a supremely subpar card, but when this card is normal summoned or flipped face up, add one spellbook spell card from your hand to your deck. Okay, so he's just there to grab spellbooks. And we're out. So this is Gemini Elf. Yeah. How hard was it to give me this? Seriously? This is a 19.9 no-cost spellcaster. Like, hello? Did I get every single card in this set except for Gemini Elf? I'm looking on the side here at what's in here. Okay, there's one I missed. Did I get this? 2 plus the Gemini is 3. Got that. Oh, hello. Was it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Well, I guess this up here doesn't really count, so there's only a handful of cards that I did not get. So the fact that they refuse to give me Geminis is annoying. But now that I know that there's 1900 Spellcaster in this deck, I'm gonna have to farm this for like 20 videos until I get a 3-drop of that. Plus, also, who's this? Prophecy Destroyer. I'm looking at this guy. And we'll come back to him when we actually get it. So should I reset this for another Spellbook Magician of Prophecy? Why not? I mean, I probably should just reset this every time I get a super rare in a mini. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. That was Visions of Ice. We will definitely be coming back to that in the next episode, though we were out of gems, so I'm going to have to grind up again, which shouldn't be too hard, since Mr. Bandit here is almost level 40. Just take me a few turns to get up here to 100, 200, 250. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Oh my god. Thanks for watching. Tune into the next episode. Like, subscribe, comment if you do. See ya.